What is going on, bro? Welcome to the video. Roller, you got anything you want to say? Brother man, anything you got to say? Just panting, huh? These guys are dead. Once it gets to be springtime in Texas, it gets hot out. All of a sudden, they just lose all their endurance. And that's why it is spring training time right now. We're out here, we're working on it, boys, little by little, 1 week at a time. Anyway, today I want to share a few rules with you guys that I've created for myself over the last few years. And as soon as I created these things, like, it changed my life, because all of a sudden I had these hard rules and it forced me to correct behaviors that I was struggling with over time. So not only has this made me like more confident, it's also just allowed me to maintain more of a growth mindset and keep moving forward, you know, even when I'm going through really tough times. All right, so you know when you have a difficult conversation that, like, you know you need to have. Maybe there's a girl you keep seeing that you want to ask her out next time you see her. Maybe, you know, I remember when I had to tell my boss that I quit my first job that was like an office job, I was scared for months to go into his office and mention it to him. Maybe you're out at the gym or a bar or something and you see someone, you know, an old like high school acquaintance that you don't really want to talk to, but you're like, man, this is probably going to turn into a conversation at some point. I used to hide from these things like crazy. I'd be like, I'll probably see her again next week. I'll just ask her then. It's going to be easier then. Maybe she's not going to be with her friend. Or, you know, oh, my boss looks kind of busy today. Maybe next week he's not going to be as busy. You just look for any reason in your head not to do it yet, because like it's going to be kind of uncomfortable, right? So here's the rule that I made for myself. Whenever I notice that I have a difficult conversation coming up, I have to do it immediately. If I'm gonna see the person in the next 24 to 48 hours, I'll wait till the next time I see them. But if not, I literally pick up the phone and dial them right then, because I think we all know that when you hesitate on something and you put it off, you start to think about it more. You start to second guess yourself, and then inevitably it becomes this like really big deal in your head. You know, your palms are sweaty, you're walking into the room waiting to see that girl, you get so fucking nervous. Then you end up stumbling over your words. It usually doesn't go that well, and I think the worst part is I'd always feel like a loser in these situations. Like, I just couldn't handle it. But when you just immediately cut to the chase and have the conversation, you don't give your brain the space to create all this doubt and all this second guessing, and it always goes better. Yeah, you walk in there, maybe you haven't thought about exactly what words you're gonna say, but you just communicate. You're like, look, do you want to hang out sometime? Or look, this is hard for me to say, but there's another opportunity I want to pursue, so I want to put in my 2 weeks. And like over time, you just learn to trust yourself in these situations, and you become way more socially confident. Like, I can't tell you as a business owner how many times I have to have difficult conversations with people, and if I hadn't made this rule for myself, there's no way I would have gotten this far. Large iced coffee, 2 creams.
You know me so well.
The brother men down here. And I got a Starbucks breakfast sandwich, double bacon, with a little protein shake on the side, because we are on that cutting life, and this is like 500 calories, so that's breakfast. So from time to time in our lives, we tend to get lost in the sauce. And what I'm saying is, we enter a situation where we convince ourselves if we don't achieve a very specific outcome, then we're failures and we can never be happy again. So one common way this happens is if you're in a relationship and it ends, especially if the girl breaks up with you, and you convince yourself, I know I did this in my first 2 relationships, that if you don't get your ex back, you can never be happy again. Or, you know, when we first moved to Houston, there's a very like flashy culture here. All of our friends have super expensive cars. We were looking for a second car, and I went from looking at an Audi Q3 to a Tesla Model Y, and then I ended up getting the Tesla Model X Performance. And to be fair, you know, there's some tax benefits that kind of made it make sense. But I got lost in the sauce, and I convinced myself I needed like the top of the top car. And the harsh truth, well, actually it's kind of like a positive reality, is that at any point in time, your happiness, your well-being is going to be determined by a balance of a lot of things, right? Your relationships, romantic, your friends, your health, your diet, your sleep, your workout routine, your career, the money you're making, you know, all of these different things. And even if one of them's in the shitter, you know, you just got broken up with, you don't have the car or the house you want or something, chances are a lot of the other ones are doing all right. Maybe even they're thriving. But when you're in this mindset, it's like, you don't give a fuck? All that matters is this one thing isn't working out. And that's why I created a rule for myself that when I notice I'm getting lost in the sauce, I have to do a hard 1-week reset. I'm not allowed to look at any car research for a full week. If you just got to break up, then block your ex on all social media for a full week so you don't have any reminders of her. It might be good to do it permanently, to be honest with you, but even though the first 48, 72 hours you're probably gonna slip up and still do a little bit of looking at what you're not supposed to look at, over time you're gonna start to realize, oh my God, I actually have some really cool friends to hang out with. Oh my God, I just got a really good workout in. I forgot how fulfilling, lifting, getting that pump in the gym could be. And ultimately you realize things aren't all that bad and you can come back to the dating market or your search for a car or a home with a much more grounded, level-headed perspective. Woo! Sometimes the pre-workout hits me so hard that I feel like I need some help. Speaking of needing help, I want to say thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Now, all jokes aside, mental health is super important, and if you need help, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, if there's something that's been interfering with your happiness or preventing you from reaching your goals, that's where BetterHelp can come in to help you out. Basically, the way it works is that BetterHelp is going to assess your needs, then it's going to match you with your own professional licensed therapist, and you can start communicating within 48 hours. And look, this is not a crisis line, this is not self-help, this is professional counseling done securely online. There's over 15,000 counselors in BetterHelp's network, which means there's going to be a broad range of expertise. It's available to clients worldwide. You can log in anytime to your account and send a message, and not only are you going to get a timely, thoughtful response, but you can hop on weekly video or phone calls with your therapist. They also make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. Plus, it's a lot more affordable than traditional therapy. Like, BetterHelp wants to help you start living a happier life today, and because they're sponsoring this video, you can go to betterhelp.com/beast or click that first link in description to join over 1 million people who are committed to taking charge of their mental health. That is betterhelp.com/beast. Go check it out. So our society, I think it kind of grooms men in a blue pill way, right? Where we're almost taught that we need to win girls over and convince them to date us or to sleep with us. And it reminds me of, growing up, I played a lot of Grand Theft Auto, and sometimes you could hit YB, X, right bumper, left bumper, and it was a cheat code that would unlock all the weapons for you. It's almost like we think if we say the right words in the right sequence to a girl, it's a cheat code and her pants are just gonna pop open. Look, I've been on a lot of dates, man, and a lot of them have gone well, but probably even more have not gone well. And for a long time, I was just always focused on I need to say the right words to make the girl like me. And a lot of times that causes you to kind of stretch the truth and lie a little bit, right? When I was starting to dabble and starting my own businesses, I was selling a couple PDFs for workouts online, and I'd tell girls, yeah, I got a few businesses that I'm working on. Maybe you're an entry-level lawyer at your firm, and you're like, yeah, I'm about to make partner in a few months. You naturally want the girl to like you more, so you start to lie a little bit. The more dating experience you get, the more you realize the words that you say, they don't really fucking matter. What's way more important is leveling up your life. As I got, more in shape and started tweaking my style a little bit more and started making more money, naturally, I started attracting a lot more attractive girls. Those things determine your value on the dating market. So the rule I made for myself is before I go on a date, you are no longer allowed to, worry about what you're gonna say, what stories you're gonna tell, what questions you're gonna ask her. Instead, I would take those 2 hours where I'd be kind of worrying, and I would go work out at the gym, and then I'd come back and work on my side hustle, right until I had to leave for the date. Then I'd show up with just a blank mind, and guess what would happen? First of all, flirting would be a lot easier, but no longer was I going into the date I have to win this girl over. I was more just I'm fitting this into my schedule, I hope it goes well. And guess what, bro? The dates start to go a lot fucking better than when you're trying to win the girl over. Gains, bro. Workout complete. So I think it's pretty, accurate to say that the number one thing that can kill your relationship game or kill your relationship is jealousy. Like, jealousy is just a natural human emotion. I don't think there's any way just to never actually feel jealous. Every time you see your girl maybe talking to another guy or other guys eyeing your girl, I think it's just a natural human response. But obviously, if you don't find a way to control your jealousy or have a healthy relationship with it, it's gonna cripple your relationship, right? Because when you feel jealous, what do? Well, you try and bring your girl closer. You don't want your girl to go out by herself. You don't want your girl to do anything you don't know about, and that makes you needy. That ultimately makes you just simp, and your girl's gonna lose attraction for you. So the rule that I made for myself is when I notice myself feeling jealousy because another guy's approaching my girl or there's other guys looking at my girl, I just change my mindset and I'm like, that's awesome. These other guys think my girlfriend's attractive, and that's awesome. That just even makes me even more proud of being with her. And obviously the more important rule that you have to make for yourself is that if you ever find out that your girl cheats on you or does something that's just not okay, like she's just constantly hanging out with some other dude, even if you don't know they're hooking up, like, you always have the freedom and the control to end the relationship. You can always walk away. It doesn't matter if your girl does some dirty shit to you, well, you just still have the freedom to walk away. Like, that is the golden rule that you always have to stick to. And I know probably the ultimate fear is that, like, your girl's cheating on you, but you don't know. But, like, if you don't know, bro, then, like, what are you gonna do? Just be super jealous all the time? Because, again, like we said, that's just gonna make you needy, it's gonna make you simp, and it's gonna kill every single relationship you're in. Stick to the 2 rules. When you notice yourself getting jealous, kind of take it as a compliment. If you find out your girl cheats on you or does something that's not okay, break up.
God, the times have changed, dude. I'm not the late one anymore.
We hit every single red light. I'm sorry, bro.
That's all right, dude.
So for dinner, a little burger of Fuddruckers, half a pound, sweet potato fries. I don't know what Julia got, but Max did not wait for us to eat.
Nah, it's a cardinal rule. I used to think you always have to wait. It's rude, but it's actually a fact. If it's hot, you're allowed to eat. If it was cold, then it's rude to start eating.
I feel disrespected. Yeah, you can still have a fry though, I guess. I'm simping for Max right now. All right, so I didn't really think of a 5th rule. Those are my 4 rules. But Max,
I got you, dude.
He's got something.
So my 5th rule that I think every guy should live by is don't think that you don't need people. You don't need help or just other people in your life. In relation to business, for the longest time, I always thought that I could do it all myself, that I don't need anyone. If I brought anyone else on, then I'm gonna have to spend more money. I gotta, it's gonna take away from my profits. But every single time when you open yourself up and you let people in, like, it only shows like how much more growth you could actually have. Like, you realize really quickly that you do need people. This relates to girls as well. I'm still trying to work through this, but for the longest time, you think that if you get into a relationship, you bring someone else into your life, they're gonna slow down your grind, they're gonna slow down your hustle, they're gonna slow you down. You're like, I don't need anyone. They say that your significant other is gonna help push you and everything, and it's easy to have the mindset like I do, where I'm like, I don't need anyone else to motivate me. Like, I motivate myself. If I have someone else in my life, it's gonna slow me down. But I truly think that if you open yourself up, same with business, to a girl, chances are it's probably gonna, in the long run, be beneficial, and you're probably gonna be happier.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new addition, H. You ready?
Ready.
So we just saw Wrath of Man with Jason Statham. What did you think?
7.8 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
What?
9.3 out of 10. Yeah, it was not only like classic Jason Statham action, there's like a little mystery.
No,
it's a unique plot.
It was a good movie. I just felt like it took way too long to build up. And there's parts that I was like, I don't want to.
There was a lot of build up, and then there was a lot of 2 months earlier, 3 months later. I'm like, wait, is that 2 weeks after the 3 months before, or is that 3?
Yeah, it was just a little too much.
9.4, highly recommend it. And I even enjoyed some sour strips while I get it. I didn't even have to guess the flavor. These were pink lemonade.
Oh, dude, better than Sour Patch.
Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you're still watching, I appreciate you so much. Hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead, click subscribe. and turn notifications on, because I drop 2 new videos every single week and you don't want to miss them. I will talk to all of y'all in the next video. Stay beastly.